This is part 4 of a series of videos on Introduction to Trig, and the first thing let's do is let's check our answers from the last video. For the last videos, what we wanted to do is we wanted to convert these following terms. From radians to degrees, 6 pi over 5 should have been 216 degrees. 120 degrees should have been 2 pi over 3. 3 pi over 4 is the same as 135 degrees. And 110 is the same as 11 pi over 18. If you didn't get these right, then watch the answer video. Otherwise, let's move on. In this video, what we want to do is we want to focus on arc length. So a lot of trig is done in terms of circles. And this is a problem you've seen in geometry, but it might have been a while. So imagine a circle. Every circle has a center. And imagine 2 points on the circle. Let's call the center X. Then if you draw a line from the center to each one of these points, then what you get is you get an arc. You also get what's called a sector. An arc is the distance here from A to B. That's defined as the arc length. It's literally the distance that you would travel if you walked around the circle from A to B. And there's 2 formulas that we use. If it's degrees, then we use the formula that arc length is equal to m over 360 times the circumference of the circle. That's 2 pi r, where m is degrees, is the measure of the angle in degrees. It's called the central angle. And AL is defined as the arc length. AB is defined as the arc length. And R is the radius, the measure of the radius of the circle in length. So from that, let's do a simple example. Let's say you have a circle and you wanted to find the distance from P to R. Let's call this Q. So you wanted to find the distance from P to R, and you knew that the measure of the angle was 100 degrees, and you knew that the radius was, let's say, 6. So this distance here is 6, and this angle right here is 100 degrees. And we want to know, what we want to know is this distance from here to here. And it's just a matter of plugging the numbers in. PR is equal to m over 360 times 2 pi r, equal to 100 over 360 times 2 times pi times 6. 100 over 360 times 12 pi. At this point, you need to simplify the fractions. You can simplify now or later. I think it's usually easier to simplify first. The zeros cancel, so you get 10 over 36. So if you want to go ahead and just do that, then what you get is you get 10 over 36 times 12 pi. Then the 12 and the 36 cancel. You can cancel the 10 and the 36 too, it doesn't matter. I'm going to think about this as 12 over 1, so the 12 and the 36 cancel. That becomes a 1 and that becomes a 3. And my final answer is 10 pi over 3. And that's my answer. That's in degrees. If we do it in radians, it's quite a bit easier. If we do it in radians, the formula is arc length is equal to theta over 2 pi times 2 pi r. Right? It's easier to think about this as just the exact same problem that we did before, with degrees, if you notice our formula for degrees, it was m over 360. Why was it m over 360? Because it was the measure of the angle divided by how many degrees are in a circle. Here we're dividing radians. There's 2 pi radians. Let's just draw a simple example. If we want to know the distance here between A and B, let's call this x. Let's measure this angle here as theta, and let that be in radians. And this distance here be r, the radius of a circle. If you notice what happens, the 2 pi shows up twice. This is 2 pi over 1, so the 2 pi's cancel. So arc length simply becomes theta r. And that's your formula. As an example, let's say theta was 2 pi over, let's do 2 pi over 5, and let the radius be 6. Then the arc length would be 2 pi over 5 times 6, or simply 12 pi over 5, right? Because that's 6 over 1, and you're done.